We been chillin'. Sorry, boys, for being kind of broken up with. I'm pretty sure we all know about video games. Hopefully. So chances are, in your free time, you play video games, or not free time. Maybe you do it as work or some shit. Pathetic loser. Oh, that's what I'm supposed to talk into. By the way, sorry about the camera. I'm using my phone and I'm using a online app thingy, and it's really fucking bad. Video games, we all know them, we all love them. And if you do not know what video games are, you probably are you are what? No, I'm fucking confused. So just to set things straight, I'm gonna just explain to you guys how this whole thing, what this whole video is about, and just because so I can make a long video, I'm gonna go over the history of video games in like 3 minutes. So hang on. So video games started becoming a pretty big industry around the 80s, late 80s, early 90s, with games like Doom, Pokemon. You know, those two in the same sentence. We got your favorite Christian demon slaying game, and then in Pocket Monsters or some shit, and many others. I wrote many others because I didn't know anything else. You see, and now this is gonna be a very important point. Video games back in the day, once they were released, you can update them. If you release the game, if it was shit, it was gonna stay shit. So the consensus was pretty much that you better make it the way you want and make it have no bugs or glitches or anything, because otherwise you're fucked. But obviously sequels were released to games, and sequels and such were released to games or newer editions to, you know, fix these problems. But big juice. But when the 2000s rolled around, yep, the 2000s, everywhere from 2000 to 2009, I think, I don't know, video games became the shit, like the shit, like the fecal matter, the thing that comes out of your butt, you know. And we ended up getting awesome video games like Call of Duty. We all play him, we still play him. I actually googled it. Call of Duty is pretty fucking old. Oblivion, I played 12 hours of that game and then got pissed off because I became a vampire and didn't want to play anymore. Half-Life 2, you know, everybody's favorite game that a sequel is coming, I'm sure. This arguably was one of the best eras of video gaming. I, for one, could not say it because I was not there. I was born in 2009. Unless I crawled out of my mom's womb playing video games, I could have never known that. And even then, I would have been very late to some of the greatest titles. I still ended up playing and watching old video games like Duke Nukem. I played Half-Life a lot. I played Oblivion. Fuck that game. I played Minecraft. Also, during this time is when Bethesda sold Horse Armor as its own DLC, which may or may not have been the predecessor, the founding father of the greatest trend in video gaming, aka in-game purchases and loot boxes and skins. It's a joke, by the way. Fuck that shit. I'm summing this up like it's my fucking school homework. I'm skipping 90% of the things because that's not the thing we're talking about here. Okay, stay with me. 2010s. Those are pretty cool. I'm born. I exist. I am is when is. Think about it. So 2010 comes around. This is where we get some of my personal favorite video games, and it's one of the greatest eras of video gaming. Probably. Yes, they're all good eras. But we get video games like Skyrim, Borderlands 2. I put it up here because Borderlands 2 is the best looter shooter ever made. Fight me on that. I bought the game. It was 95% off on Steam. It's a really fucking good deal. But around this time, and probably before that too, sometimes we had a bit of a glitch in the system. Things started going wrong. Obviously, just as TV shows, cartoons, everything, comic books, a fucking shoe, goddamn, I don't know, horse, your own son. They all share something in common. They don't always meet expectations. And it happens because that's the way it is. So we've always had games that were like meh, like Duke Nukem, the new one, I forgot its name, the shit one, you know. But in this age is where more came out, more shit, you know, more poop. There's more poop than a septic tank. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that the games in the generations were bad. They definitely weren't. I feel like the 2010s is just definitely just has some of the greatest games, the BioShock, all of those. I feel like from late 2010s is where we can go onwards, is where it really started getting bad. One of the best ones I can bring up that just had insane redemption, you could say it was Red Dead Redemption. Jesus Christ, I mean, it was more dead, but it had a redemption. So it's not that anymore, it's more than life. That was Lords of the Fallen. This game has an awesome remake. Put it on screen. Me, Guardian, do it. I'm gonna fucking beat the shit up. It's pretty good. I feel like we can agree that it's pretty good. The original Lords of the Fallen is in a way just as well known, if not more, because how bad it was. You see, it was a clunky mess. It was worse than Dark Souls 2, which, I mean, fuck, you gotta do something real wrong to make a game that's worse mechanically than Dark Souls 2. And however good the story might have been, obviously, if it's a mess, people aren't gonna play it. But it makes sense. Lords of the Fallen was, I feel like, one of the first games, if not the first game, to really initiate this Souls-like genre of games, which is just, it sounds Souls-like games that are just like the Dark Souls. My camera is so fucking bad right now. I'm sorry, you gotta deal with it. I gotta deal with it. I don't know what the fuck to do. And it being the first Souls, like, still it's bad, but like, we can give it some, credit. I guess you can, give it a pass for being one of the first ones, and it may or may not have initiated one of the greatest genres of games. Like, YouTubers now make complete series out of random Souls like they find on Steam. I like Iron Pineapple a lot. Great content, bro. Keep it up. My niceness or any amount of kindness I've had in my soul is now gone after going through some personal stuff. I believe the best example for a disappointing game is none other than Cyberpunk 2077. Yeah, Cyberpunk was really hype. Like, it was really hype. I didn't even know anything about the company back then. Or the games they made. I didn't know the Witcher games were made by them. So all I just knew is that this game was big. And this was all over the internet. Like, oh my god, like, it was all over the internet. It was big. The hype around it was crazy, because it makes sense. It was supposed to be a really big game with a lot of time put into it. Expectations for the game were higher than goddamn Snoop Dogg, the man, the myth, the legend, Snoop D-O-double-G himself. I'm gonna punch my fucking phone. It was more hype than a crackhead on DMT, just a whole different life. And the end product was interesting. The game was a buggy mess. There's nothing to say, and it was pretty bad. The story, however, I cannot speak on it, the lore or all of that, but from what I know, it's not supposed to be bad. The thing that really ruined the game was just how messy it was, and that's a lot when you're playing a fucking video game, because you're supposed to play it, but how do you play it when your fucking car just like phases out of existence, or you're walking around and the NPC just like fucking rolls into frame like some fucking Lovecraftian monster. I don't even know what I'm talking about. They just like appear, disappear, faces gone, faces on, feet are gone. Who? My gun? Where's my gun? What? I'm confused, man. I don't know. So yeah, as you might expect, this game really lowered, not the standards, it lowered people's expectations in a bad way, and also lowered our happiness and enjoyment and everything. Professor Guardian is here to ask the question that we all need to be asking. Why do these happen? Why do video games just keep being shit? Why is it that nowadays when a cool new game releases, instead of being like, oh wow, can't wait for Starfield, you're like, oh, Starfield was shit. So it was bad. The optimization. Oh, cool title. What happened to video games? Reason number one, deadlines. I can't do it. I'm just gonna kill myself with this little cable right here. This one. A lot of games are released before they are complete because of very strict deadlines, causing games to be a big, buggy, messy shit. Sometimes they're just very rushed and bad stories that are not meeting expectations, or I don't even know what the fuck I'm in store. And this is a shame because so many games could have so much more potential, but they are released so bad, and people are like, oh wow, this game is bad, because first impressions or everything. If you're meeting somebody and he brings a knife to your date and starts, just doing this, like going, I don't think I'd want to date them. I don't care how sweet and nice you might be. If you do that on the first date, that's a no-go. In video games, if I launch the game and it's a fucking piece of shit and I hate it and I'm bored, I'm never gonna play it again. Which makes all the effort the game devs put in later after release completely futile. It's gone. You're done for it. Everything you tried, got like 6 people left who are like, hey, okay, wow, game is looking good nowadays. Thanks, guys. You're done for. This is it. Do you understand how bad it is if you don't make a good game good at first? If it's bad on launch, pray for God that you don't get death threats. Do people get death threats actually? Imagine making a game so bad that like some guy just shows up to your house with an AK-47 and a big machete and pulls out this little green thingy and then pulls the pin on it and throws it into your house so bad that it lowers the frame rate of my camera and starts screaming, no, I can do it. I can't say that. Reason number 2, peace be upon thine kind. So reason number 2, greed. Greed is bad. Greed is one of the sins, you know, the 7 deadly sins: greed, gluttony, all of those. Greed is not good. It's a no bueno. Whenever I say no bueno, I just think of like a guy, like there's like a clip of him when he gets like a TikTok message and it's like, have you ever dated any girls? And he's like, girls? No, because that means they're underage. I only date females because I'm an adult. But no, female likes this guy, and just so sad. Companies have been becoming seemingly becoming lazier than ever. They're just lazier and lazier, more lazy than a sloth. Or sloth says, I don't know. They swim faster than they can walk or climb. But what? And for some cases, I believe this is greed. For many cases, actually. Activision Blizzard, Activision, just Activision. Just think about it. If you logically think, if video games are one of the biggest just industries nowadays, how can you make easy money, release a really bad game, and then sell it for a lot, and then boom, your day is done? You don't need to make a good game. People are still gonna buy it, especially if it's a good franchise. So we have games like Call of Duty Vanguard, FIFA 5 quintillion. Assassin's Creed isn't bad. I don't believe Assassin's Creed is bad. Assassin's Creed is just the same thing because there are diehard fans that like the same thing. They just, from what I've seen, from what I know, I never played Assassin's Creed. From what I know, it's an assassin in a time period. I mean, for Assassin's Creed, I don't know, Mesopotamia. Assassin's Creed Antarctica, the opium bird. Again, the fact that companies, they know that they can just get away with making shitty games because as much as people criticize them, people are still gonna buy them. Like, there's just this very dedicated fan base that will buy any and all and every Call of Duty game that there is because they are way too loyal and way too fucking stupid, which is the big shocking reason why we've had COD for like God knows how many years in a row, and we didn't get COD for 2023. That was a big thing. Like Modern Warfare 2 came out and they were like, hear me out, no COD game for 2023. How about we actually take time with our game and don't release the fucking sloppy shit? I mean, thank God they grew a brain until they release another bad game and then another one and then another one, and that's the same reason why we get a new FIFA game every single year. I don't get why they make a new FIFA game every single year. It's the same game. The graphics change like it's progressive, you know. They go from FIFA 2016 and just like slowly builds up. Like, it's not like Skyrim and then Starfield or Elder Scrolls 6. It's probably gonna be good, I hope. It's not like that. You just see 17, 18, 19 and like 20, you're like, oh wait, I actually see a big difference there, because, you know, and just I don't know, why would you buy a new FIFA game every year? Just actually go play soccer, you dumb fat piece of shit. Like, motherfucker, it's a carbon copy. It's the same molecules it's just the same little fucking particles, the exact same thing. I get it, you're a very greedy company, EA, but still. And games, and you can really see the laziness with newer releases, where again, COD Vanguard was pretty bad. People really criticize it for just not being that good, and it's a fact. If we keep it up like this by like 2025 or like 2030, COD is gonna be even worse. Like, it's just gonna be a big slab of poop. I say poop shit. Reason number 3, my homie Jamal is in prison for arson, attempted murder, and physical abuse and sexual harassment. But hey, he's a changed man now. Sequels, we all know sequels. It's like when your favorite thing has a 2 next to it now. You know, we all know them. Spider-Man 2, good. Elder Scrolls 1, Elder Scrolls 2, 3, 4, 5, and then they forgot how to count. Half-Life 1, Half-Life 2. Episode 2, Minecraft 2, Binding of Isaac, The Binding of Isaac 2, maybe Counter-Strike 2. I guess I haven't played Counter-Strike in like a good month. Ever since it switched over to Counter-Strike 2, I just haven't opened it. I haven't even opened it before then, but like still, sequels are really just a hit or miss. It's like playing dart with your friends, but he like puts his fucking nutsack on the dartboard, and it's like, hey, you better not miss or I'm fucked. So it's like, okay, we gotta try hard. And then the friend who's like actually prepared, he's like, I got this, I can do this. Boom. No not shot. Everything's good. Good game that's released. Spider-Man 2. Pretty fucking good game. I just spat on my microphone. Pretty good. Pretty damn good. It's a new Spider-Man game. It's well done. Everything. Elder Scrolls 5. Really good. Half-Life. But then fucking John over here, who's had some liquid courage in him. More courage than cowardly dog that he is. So he comes in, takes a dart, bets on it for good luck. Throws it, boom, directly in the tip. Oh my god, the blood. And guess what? We get bad. Very, very bad. Super bad. The Last of Us 2. Anybody? Hated on that game? I never played this. I don't play games. Holy shit. Oh yeah, oh my god, I was looking for references. Dark Souls 2. I don't know what the fuck happened there. The worst part about this is that companies sometimes get those little Mr. Krabs, Eugene Krabs, dollar signs in their eyes, and they go, what? Cha-ching? Money. And they end up releasing 1, 2, 3 games. Hey, Halo 3, pretty good. And you get 4 and 5. Hey, yo. Okay, and then more and stop. Games that have like actually deep storylines that are like all tied into like maybe a trilogy, like Dark Souls for example. FromSoft is one of the best companies because they didn't make Dark Souls 4. They made Dark Souls 3 and they were like, hey, what are we gonna do? Light the fire again? No, we ended here. They did. And other guys are like, bro, what if we have a definitive good ending for the game, and then we just like add some bullshit plot and make 6 more games, and every time a new game releases, just a bit of the legacy in the spirit and just a bit of our happiness dies with it, and by the end we're just left with a husk of its former glory. The original game is but a mess. The original game's great story and gameplay and just its legacy has been tainted by bad shit, and you got a remake for the original game. Jesus Christ. Yeah, also Resident Evil like 5 and 6 were pretty bad. 7 restarted the genre. 8 is kind of meh. Now we're getting into the heat and harding here. Maybe it's your mom. Reason number 4. You know the meme. Loot boxes, in-game purchases, and skins. In-game purchases have become a staple of modern gaming. I want to say something. I'm going to say something with stapling your balls somewhere. Companies like EA abuse the poop out of it. You know, like in Dead Space 3, where you bought like DLCs so the robot could. You bought upgrades, in-game upgrades for fucking money. Also, this is why everybody clowns on EA. Like you see all those memes like Dark Souls, but if EA made it, it's like press any button to continue, start the game. It's like, would you like to buy the game expansion, the soundtrack expansion? Oh, do you want the map extension? Oh, really? Would you like Sword? Oh, what? Are you a pussy? Do you not want to spend your money? Or are you that big of a pussy that you don't want to do a soul level 1 run? Okay. Gaylord. And it makes sense because I thought it was a joke. Before I really got into these topics, I was like, haha, EA, yeah, dumb company. So I actually found out that Dead Space 3 was so bad because you could actually buy, you got the fucking the robot item expansion. Wow, just make a big pack of things and make it like a deluxe edition. Or hear me out, don't make in-game upgrades purchased, but that is one side of greediness of the in-game stuff. That's more outside gaming game stuff. We got loot boxes and we got skins. These two kind of correlate. Loot boxes became a really big thing. I don't know where they really started, but I feel like the whole CSGO loot box opening was one of the biggest one of those, which really, got people into gambling and really made 6-year-olds just delete their mom's credit card in their mom's bank savings. Like, imagine you come home from work and you get a message saying that you're $20,000 in debt because you spent all your money on loot box keys, and then your son is like, oh mom, look, I got this cool new gun. It's a purple and blue. It costs $10,000. Mom, why are they taking our house? If you don't watch enough Rick and Morty, if you're not Redditor enough, you wouldn't understand the fact that loot boxes in games is just advertising gambling to children, pretty much. Like, say whatever you want, most people who play these games are children. Fortnite, kids play it and they spend their mom's money on V-Bucks. I'm spending my money on V-Bucks. I wanted to buy V-Bucks once, but I didn't have money. So what I did was I went onto these sites claiming to give me free V-Bucks. All I got was my IP address sent to me on Discord. I'm just kidding, that never happened. But I did try. It was like credit card information. I thank God I didn't fill out those things. They're so scammed. Also, the fact that like in-game purchases and loot boxes, that type of stuff just defines games nowadays. Like getting a game that you don't need to pay for shit for, like Baldur's Gate, was so crazy because you bought the game and you had it. No buying expansions, no buying a goddamn key to the Claws of Eternity or some shit. You know, that type of stuff. I don't need to buy skins or anything. Nothing's locked behind a paywall like it shouldn't be. Because if I buy a fucking game, I buy the game. Everything the game has, I buy it. You're not gonna make me fucking pay for that. Like, why? Bro, I literally wrote on the script, say something if you remember. It just shows how much I care about making videos. Reason number 5. Number 5. I just wrote actually shit game. I actually wrote shit games. I'm reading on my script. This is where we get into the good stuff. The true dark show of the gaming. With games like Redfall, Rise of Kong, and Gollum. These are probably the most notorious, which I don't even know what the fuck to say about. It's all just shit. When I say Gollum is a bad game, I don't see the script. I mean bad in its most definitive version. What I'm trying to say here is that if God or some mythological being, God something, told me that I have one chance to give one word enough emphasis, enough expression put in it, just make one word so much emphasis on it, have such a strong meaning, really just be able to cross something, that word would be the word bad. I use it on Gollum. It's just a bad game. Unlike Cyberpunk, all of those, it's just a bad game. I didn't hear too much about it before it came out, and when it came out, everybody was making fun of how bad it is. It's a bad game. It's supposed to be boring. It's supposed to be meh. It's supposed to be. It's not a fun game. It's just bad. It's bad. Redfall, on the other hand, is just a true crime. It's just crime. It's a crime. It's murder on its greatest. Arcane Studios, the creators of Redfall, who are also known as the people behind Dishonored, Ray, Deathloop, and like some random ass game that I saw while googling what they made. I don't know. I don't get what happened. Something went wrong. Something has gone awry. Stars have not aligned this time. The stars just off and blew up. Cosmic calm. There's a bit of a drama around this game for obvious reasons, as you know, it was bad because it's way too expensive for what it is. That is bad. Like, there's just how much to say. It was like what, $60-$70 for like nothing. The cutscenes were like in PowerPoint slideshows. Even the Actman made fun of it, so I'm just gonna rip him off. It was really just like a not a good execution at all. I don't know. Why would you make a what was I'm genuinely surprised that somehow such a great company with such an impressive arsenal of some of the best games was able to create something so bad, or unable to create something good, I guess. I'm not quite sure what happened there. Maybe there's something I'm missing. Maybe there's a piece or many pieces. Maybe I'm just like only solved like that one small corner of the puzzle and it's actually a 1,000-piece puzzle, but I'm just too lazy to solve the other ones. Hey, but neither of these games, not on anything I've said here, murder isn't as bad as I can. None of these are as bad as everybody's favorite. Buckle up, kiddos, because we're gonna talk about the Rise of Kong, Skull Island. I just wrote it's actually shit. The Steam Asset Flip. It's a Steam Asset Flip lookalike for $40. That's 40 buckaroos. That's more than I want to spend on a game that looks like it was made by some amateur developer for free. It somehow took the developers 1 year to make. 1 year to make. I just realized how few expressions Jesus Christ. I just stare, don't I? I just stare and I just don't react at all. That's fucking crazy. Oh my god, I'm so soulless. Look at me. Look, not look at my foot. Look at me. Like, whenever I'm talking, I'm trying to be crazy. I don't move my eyes. I just like move my face. It took them 1 year and 40 buckaroos for 1 year of work that looks like it was made in like 1 month. The creators, Game Mill, are said to have forced their developers to make the game for as cheap as possible, which I guess is what they did for the last like 10, 20, 15, I don't know how many years, because they have a pretty good arsenal for a pretty bad game. They made a lot of shit. There are some games Moist Critical covered it. Watch him. I'm not as good as Moist Critical. I'll never be. I'll just just never be Charles White. I'm taller than him, by the way. He's short as fuck. I got some advantage on him, you know, like I'm 175, so just say, yeah, probably some of the best games that are made by an actual fucking company. Like, I'm telling you, a Steam asset flip. You take the fucking, like, I don't know, Unreal Engine or like just Steam assets. You can make a better game if you have even a smidge of creativity. If you've been gifted with if you've been gifted with the smallest little bean, little speck of creativity, you'll be able to make a 10 times better game than Kong Skull Island that cost 40 fucking bucks. Also, they're making a Walking Dead game somehow. How did they even get the IP for the game? And I can't wait to play a Steam asset flip for 60 buckaroos. My camera is still so goddamn bad. Holy shit, the frame rate is like 6 pixels because it's kind of fixed. So yeah, wrapping it up. That's it, fellas. I just wasted your time. Ha! Get fucked, idiot. Thank you for watching the video. I summed up things very shortly. I kind of hurried with this whole script and video because I wanted to make a video, so you guys actually don't just all unsubscribe from my channel. If I've been going through some stuff, personal stuff, I mentioned multiple times, making a joke out of it because that's the best way to go with things. Some personal stuff has happened and it's caused me to not be as productive. Also, I'm not as productive in general because of school, and that's just an excuse. I'm just really not productive. I feel like I could be a lot more productive, but I am not. To 6 people who actually watched the video, thank you a lot for this. This means a lot, and please put this in as my gold subreddit so at least you can see it. Companies, make sure to make good games. Spider-Man 2 was really fucking good. I watched Jacksepticeye play for it. I like it. Dude, Venom looks so menacing, so good. Okay, I'm not gonna spoil anything. Well done. Make good games though. Keep making good games. Don't make bad games. Don't make fucking, you hear me? Don't make fucking bad games.